Ah, hello. I am Edward Stinson.
And I'm Maura Ozana.
And we are here with the Nerdverse.
Thank you for joining us again here on WRPBITV.com, bringing you everything geeky and nerdy.
Indeed, indeed. Now, the first thing we want to just get right to is really delving into geekdom. Sure, there are a lot of veteran, geeks and nerds out there who have been in this thing for years. But what happens when you've never been involved in it? How do you start? Where do you start?
How would you, as a newborn geek, open the wardrobe into the world of geekdom in which you have never entered before?
Indeed, indeed. Like a dragon, like a natural dragon, you gotta start walking before you start running, before you start flying. And then you breathe fire, people. You breathe fire. That's what I'm saying. It gets intense. But that is really how geekdom starts. You gotta start somewhere. And you gotta start small before you can get big.
However, unlike baby dragons, you do not have to be in your mother's womb. This does not reflect the views of WRPBITV.com.
This is true, yes.
Let's just dive right into it.
Indeed, yes. So, the first thing we want to go really over is, comic shops. Let's say you really do want to, start getting involved in things. You want to look up some things. Yeah. Well, if you want to take more of just a first-hand approach, go visit a comic book shop.
Very true. Very true.
Check it out. If you really want to go find one, check out online. Check Facebook pages. Look up online for comic book shops, things like that. You want to go find there because that's where every other dragon who's now hatching, learning how to run, walk, and fly is there.
Be on the lookout too, because you never know where a comic shop could be lurking in your own town. There's a bunch all over Miami that I never noticed until I got into the geekdom myself.
Agreed. For a long time, I just did not know about the plethora of comic book shops all around.
I just ignored them. Peripheral vision comic shops, whoa.
They're so small a lot of the times, But hey, that's on another topic. Moving on. Besides comic book shops, where else can we really look for, really getting into geekdom?
Well, obviously, there's going to be a lot of meetups. They don't always have to be official meetups. Like, say, you could meet in a park, or you could
very well.
You could meet in a store, in a bookstore, or you could also meet at a convention or a Renaissance fair, or just a fair in general, really.
Fairs in general, yes. One of the really cool things about geekdom, we all love going to the same places, guys. We really do. When a Renaissance fair goes on, when a convention goes on, most of the people out there who are geeks or like the things that you like will be there.
You can feel whole with us. We will hold you, our little baby dragons, and give you rubies.
You adorable little snuggles.
You little scamps.
Oh, you little scamps. I'm sorry,
anyway.
As we were saying. Back to business. Miss Moore.
Right, so if you are of the shyer variety, like most of us geeks are, feel free to use the internet to find some places that you would like to explore yourself. There's all types of different geek ways to express yourself. There are all different types of geekdom. There is, of course, the Edwards type, the Renaissance fair type. There's my type, the cosplay convention type. There's the comic book store,
type of
you
people.
Live there type of people.
It's just a lifestyle at that point, It really is a secondary lifestyle that you just accept, know of, and
just beat everybody at Magic in the competition.
Pretty much.
There's different types of geeks, so you've got to find your niche and what you like best.
Absolutely.
And that way you will be able to use the internet and social media to really find where you belong.
Exactly.
Although we all belong together and we are all geeks, so
America.
Stay strong. America.
Yes.
Captain America.
Oh my God. This human. As we were saying, when it comes to geekdom and really involving yourself in it, besides comic book shops, just going to conventions, all that good stuff. If you're really more of a passive person, you don't want to really thrust yourself into situations, well, people, internet exists. So what you're gonna do here, okay, you're gonna find any form of search engine, really.
My best bet is Google.
Yeah.
You're going to just type and be sure to use keywords that you think would interest you.
Absolutely.
Like if you're interested, for example, in magic competitions.
Type that in.
Type magic competitions.
Literally.
And then in Oklahoma City, wherever you live, or cosplay meetups,
Absolutely.
aren't usually on Google as much as conventions.
They're not actually. You have to really look for a meetup. That's really after you know the community exists and you're looking for where the community is going, or specific people of your community.
So if you want, for getting started, like beginners like you guys, I would recommend exploring a convention or a Renaissance fair, actually.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
Just Google Renaissance fairs in New York or conventions in Orlando, for example, and a bunch of stuff should come right up, and you'll be able to really see. There's a bunch of reviews now. This is the 2010s.
Oh yes.
There are going to be a bunch of reviews on places people have been, and you
Plenty.
can pick and choose which one you'd like to go to based on that.
Absolutely.
Bring a friend.
Oh my God, yes,
Never
please.
go alone.
Don't
Bring
ever
a
go
friend.
alone.
Because it's just no fun alone.
It really isn't. Like, I've seen people who go by themselves. It is an awkward thing. You go there and you don't really have anyone to talk to if you're not like a super social person naturally. And so it's
Edward,
a
you're gonna
really,
scare them.
really weird experience. Oh,
It's okay if you don't have any friends who are into this, but feel free to get a friend who's not afraid of going and just explore it together. It's easier to make friends in numbers than it is to just throw yourself into it alone, especially if you're shy, like we talked about.
Indeed, indeed.
So don't worry, just go up and say hi to someone. I'm sure they'll talk back.
A majority of the times, yes. If you're in the geek community, you've experienced some form of people telling you that you're crazy for liking the things you do. That's how it is. Not a lot of people, for some reason, agree with loving to immerse yourself into imaginary worlds. Who would have thunk it? But
if you're not one of those losers,
you're not one of those freaking people. Those guys, freaking douchebags.
Language is not condoned by WRPBITV.com. We do not condone this language, and before Boss Man beheads us,
I'm so sorry.
we have failed you,
We have failed.
Boss
I'm
Man.
sorry.
God Man, Boss Man, they all work.
I just want hope.
Anyway, so if you would like to know more about how to really get yourself a costume or how to make more friends, feel free to go on our Facebook page and let us know anything you'd like to see in a further episode.
Absolutely. Actually, right after the break, we'll go a bit more into how to get more of the physical side of things started. How to really start with. Well, do I need a costume? Do I want a costume? What type of attire should I wear? Things like
How
that.
to prepare for your
Prepare to get involved.
birth into the world of dragons. How to bedazzle yourself with all the, what do dragons like to roll around in? Emeralds, rubies, sapphires?
Mostly gold. A lot of gold.
A lot of gold.
Yeah, a lot of
if you
gold.
want to be Smaug,
Smaug.
if you'd like to get your Smaug on, I can't say the name.
Sorry, had a moment.
If you want to get your Smaug on,
Smog. If you'd like to be Smog at any given point in time.
we will help you get over your shyness in the next segment.
Indeed.
So stay with us and we're going to talk about that a little more.
Please do. Please do. We will be here for you.
Commercial break. Welcome back to Nerdverse. We hope you enjoyed that word from our sponsor.
Hello, hello. Now that we're back, one of the few things we want to begin with is, how we actually begun our career as a fledgling dragon in the geekdom world. For even though we are, veterans in our fields, as I said before, my good people, you gotta start somewhere. So, and I, Edward Jameson III, will begin by describing, where our roots come from in fantasy. Not just fantasy sci-fi, all of geekdom in general. How we got involved in conventions, fairs, things like that. Why don't you start it off?
All right. Personally, I had started when I was around 13, I would say. My friend had been using Google, like I suggested to all of you fine people, and she found this thing called an anime convention, and this strange, unheard of hobby, because it was still not that big yet in 2007, called cosplay, costume play.
Costume.
And she approached me, and she had said, "More for my birthday, there is this convention in Orlando around Valentine's Day," and it was MegaCon, which has just gotten even bigger in the past few years since.
Oh my gosh,
And
yes.
so she said, "For my birthday, I want to go to this thing, and I want you to dress up with me and do the act of costume play." Because back then it wasn't its own verb yet. It wasn't coined.
Yes, it wasn't a term.
Like bootylicious is a term.
Yes.
Now,
Twerking also is a term.
Cosplay
Yes.
now you're just saying words.
No, actually, it was added to the dictionary. It was a whole thing. I saw it in there along with
So we
steampunk.
went to the convention.
Sorry. Continue.
Boss Man is watching.
Sorry, boss man.
So we went to the convention, And for our costumes, what we did at the time, we got a local seamstress to make the costumes for us, and we just paid her. We got our little outfits, and we went as the maids from Tokyo Mew Mew. I don't know if you remember that show.
That's awesome. Continue, sorry.
And we went, and it was just this incredible, like, big event full of people dressed as characters, and it was so strange to see, like, these characters brought to life, and it was incredible.
Agreed.
Now, though, if you want to find a costume, you can just look on eBay, and they've got a bunch. They're all over in China, but maybe occasionally you'll find someone in the States selling their old one, and then you can just buy it there, and then you're good to go. Okay. But yeah, so after that, I kept going, and there was this tiny convention in this hotel in Fort Lauderdale at the time, which was called SuperCon.
Oh!
Throwing some names out there.
Oh, I see.
And we went to that, and I just continued. I always had a really fun time at conventions, even though my costumes were terrible, and I was, a really sweaty teenager. But yeah, I just kept going, and then I made more friends that way. And every time you go, you make some more friends. And then eventually you don't need social media anymore to meet people through cosplay, because you just meet them there through other friends. And yeah, so I've never looked back, really. I loved it, and it's what I like to do now.
That's awesome. That's really good. That's really good.
Thanks.
I guess I also kind of had a similar experience.
How'd you get involved in the Renaissance Fair?
Well,
you said last time that your parents are geeks.
Yeah, exactly.
So
they were, oh my God.
I'm surprised you weren't born at a Renaissance Fair. They were like, come one, come all, for the birth of Edward Stinson III. And you just popped out of here.
Why? I am chivalrous. Why? I hunger.
With that voice. You just
Child
popped out
hunger.
with that voice. I am here, and my purpose is to talk about nerdy things on Nerdverse. As you're crawling.
Crawl.
Were you born with that face?
No, I was not born with the face, actually. The hair had to grow in a couple seconds after I was born. But the point is...
Contrary to popular belief, he was not born at a Renaissance Fair. So tell us how you did get involved in those.
How I did get involved. Well, frankly, my mother went about 6-7 years before I ever started going to the Renaissance Fairs. I've been going for 14 years myself. And so even before I popped out of the womb, oh, you nasty, she was already going to Renaissance Fairs. I was going to Renaissance Fairs. Some little, thingy ball inside of a woman's stomach visiting fairs. I was happy, I promise you. But the point is...
These graphic images are not brought to you by WRPBITV.com.
This is true also, I'm sorry. Might be. But the point is, okay, I've been going to Renaissance Fairs for quite some time. 14 years worth. And going to Renaissance Fairs for this long, frankly, it was a hobby for me. It was a lifestyle for me. Sure, it only happened in February, the one in Quiet Waters Park. But every year I'd go religiously. I had to go. Me and my mom would go. My dad, being the elusive man he is, would sometimes not go. But the point is, I went with my mother a lot. We'd go there, we got involved with the cast members. We'd love to hear everything. We'd love to see all the things, get fruit from all the booths, buy awesome items, all those little trinkets and adorable
They
whatnots.
are really awesome.
They really do have awesome stuff, I can't lie. But, after going so long, really, it was quite honestly a dream of mine to, really involve myself and work with the Renaissance Fair. And 3 years ago, I made it happen. They had rehearsals for it, and I joined in the rehearsals. That's a story for next time. I'll tell you about it. I promise. It was the funniest thing ever.
I'm sure we'd love to hear that.
Nothing but improv. It was the funniest thing ever. Anyways, so we did the rehearsals, and they were like, "My God, man, your voice!" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "You need to do something." So I was like, "Yes, I will." And so I became a guard. It was very simple at the time, but what I had to do was prove myself. Seeing as how it was only my first year, they're not going to make you General of Arms.
Who would you say that you got a quest from the king to prove yourself to the kingdom?
Well, actually, I can't even lie. I really was like, guys, we're a bunch of geeks working at the Renaissance Fair. Like, everything is somehow fantasy related and or referenced back. So there were many quests, missions, goals, dungeons, and whatnots that occurred at this Renaissance Fair that needed to happen so I could level up. Not only after my first year, but after my second year. I became captain of the King's Guard.
Good show, man.
Thank you. This allowed me a very unique opportunity to really involve myself in the Renaissance Fair and really get to know a lot of people. As Maura was saying about conventions, just go to a fair. If you go to a fair, Same with conventions. Almost everyone there is interested in everything that you like at the fair also.
They are literally dressed in the same things that you are interested in. So you don't even have to worry like, excuse me, do you maybe like the... No, you're wearing a Doctor Who costume. I'm wearing a Doctor Who costume. We are Whovians. Let's be friends.
Automatically. It's
or in your case, the Whovians go to the Renaissance Fair too.
Actually, they do. We have a Time Travelers Weekend. Like, I can't tell you how many Whovians were there at the Time Travelers Weekend. I mean, sure.
And they are all welcome. We love all geeks of all kinds.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like, I have absolutely no resentment for them because Doctor Who guys, come on, like...
Edward's brutal and barbaric mannerisms are not brought to you by WRPBITV.com.
I wasn't... I'm sorry, boss man. I didn't...
Boss man is watching.
But yes, that is my Renaissance Fair experience and why I love and joined the Renaissance Fair.
All right, now that Edward's head is properly glued back onto his neck, I would like to ask you a couple of questions actually about how, personally, I haven't done any Renaissance fairs yet. You are going to be my guru into the world. Yes. Okay. So if I wanted to, let's say, make a gypsy costume or a pirate costume, how would I go about that? How would I, as a cosplayer, I feel like it's not as fun to just make a costume and then go like I would to a convention. I feel like it would take away from the experience of like the merchantry.
Of
buying something from a vendor
and
like haggling or bartering, for example. It helps you get into the feel. So how would you recommend for a newbie to put together a Renaissance Fair costume?
One of the coolest things I will actually say is you are absolutely correct. Really, bartering, trading with merchants is a thing. When you're working with the different artisans, the craftsmen, all of them there, they make everything you see. If you see a metal helmet that looks like swords have nicked the sides of it, it is because it was forged for battle, and people have literally nicked the sides of it with a sword and or axe. The axe is dangerous.
And leatherwork. Leatherwork is also very popular, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Leatherwork is extraordinarily popular. Surprisingly, I don't know why, but a lot of people in like the geeky world also happen to use a lot of leather. I don't know why, it's just a thing that we've been into lately.
It just looks nice. As a cosplayer, I'll tell you, I would much rather make a costume out of leather than out of satin.
I agree.
So that's your answer.
Completely. I'm not minding any of leather. I'm just saying. Especially at the Renaissance Fair. Yeah, so everyone there has made it themselves, really? I'm sorry, I had a thought. But yes, at the Renaissance Fair, I'm sorry. Sorry, boss man. At the Renaissance Fair...
Thank you for joining us again, Edward.
I had a moment. I was in some thoughts.
It is okay.
Anyway, at the Renaissance Fair, honestly, the easiest way to really get into it, really have a costume come together, save up like $200 or $300, go to the Renaissance Fair, look at what you like, get what you like. Okay.
Oh, great.
It's true though. Over the last 14 years, that's how I built my costume. Every year, I promised myself I'd get at least one thing. One year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get me shirts and pants. Let's start simple. I got me a shirt, got me some pants. Done. Next year,
$300.
OMG. Okay, because the thing is, everything there is handmade. So like when you get a shirt, it isn't like this is a $10. Calm yourself, sir.
It's not $10 per shirt?
Nah, son. It's going to be like 20 minimum. But 20? That's, once again, it's because it's made out of materials that are meant to, replicate what was done in the day.
Well, 20 is fine, because a Hot Topic shirt will cost you like 22 now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, these clothes were made specifically for, look, it's hot. Well, I'm going to make you comfortable and give you air to breathe. So very loose clothing, loose-fitting clothing. So the pants, things like that. The next year I got boots. Next year I got a belt and some bracers. Next year I got leather little shoulder armor. A cool thing to really do is honestly recognize yourself as leveling up from level 1, cloth, level 2, leather, level 3, metal. Okay?
That's incredible.
It is difficult to get to metal because my Jeebus, it is expensive.
And that's very admirable, I think, about the Renaissance Fair. It's something that the cosplay community lacks, because we, for example, we don't have our master crafting cosplayers going to conventions and selling their costumes. They'll offer commissions, yes, they have a booth offering commissions.
Absolutely.
But they don't make these events and then have people... I feel like there's something about the cosplay community where it's more respectable to make your own thing.
No, absolutely.
So to become a master on your own, as opposed to just really get into the spirit of a character, and who cares who made it, but you've got your outfit and you're ready to go have fun at the fair.
Yeah. That really actually is a great contrast. I hadn't even thought about that, but it's very true.
I think the cosplay community could definitely learn something from the Renaissance Fair in that sense.
Absolutely. At the fair, if you're a blacksmith, you don't care who gets your wares. Dude, you are in love with taking a piece of metal and being able to say, I have carved, crafted, cut, whatever, this into a breastplate, into a pauldron, greaves, vambracers, whatever. You have taken a piece of metal and you've made it into something functional, awesome, and anyone can get it. If they buy it, hey man, you've made it. Your signature is what you've made. At a cosplay convention, you make everything you have and then you wear it.
Yeah,
you make it to wear.
Not to say that there's anything wrong with making.
No.
In cosplay, it's not so much about authenticity; it's more about replication.
Yeah, look freaking awesome.
You can't
doing
be
it.
Guts from Berserk with your sword.
You're not gonna have an actual metal sword. Number one, it's gonna be heavier than anyone who's actually trying to lift it.
There's definitely merit in making your own thing as a what would the word be? Would you call them experts?
Yes, I guess. Yeah, really,
they're experts
the
in
veterans
they're
and experts.
They're expert craftsmen. But cosplay is more about making a replication as opposed to the authenticity and the reenactment aspect of a Renaissance fair.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So this just all goes back to what we were talking about. You really got to find your own niche of geekdom and which one you like better.
Mm-hmm.
For him, the clash of metal, the creak of leather is what gets him excited. For me,
She knows.
it's the molding of literally materials like this paper, this this clay. This was once clay, and then you can mold that into a costume, and you're ready to go and show off.
Yeah, and absolutely, as you were saying, it is taking away nothing from the people who do it. One of the main things that I always loved about cosplay, honestly, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. You just need to not be lazy. Say, hey, I want this character created. Hit up a Walmart, get some leg warmers. Oh, look, I'm Rock Lee now. I guess that's really it.
That's good advice too.
It's a simple thing. It's a much simpler thing. It's about, hey, I love this character. I love this character. People see that I love this character.
And honestly, I think that's the best advice we could give you because, like we said, if you're shy, like we were shy too, don't worry, we're veterans now, but we weren't always this talkative, trust me. But if you're shy, I get a lot of insecure people asking me, can I cosplay this? Or can I do this? And admittedly, I'm a little insecure about the Renaissance Fair too, can I actually do this?
Yeah.
But no, don't be shy. Just like we said, find your niche. If that's what you want to do, don't let anyone stop you from doing it.
Absolutely.
Be proud of being a geek, and
please be proud of being a geek.
He's begging you.
Please.
I'm telling you. I'm ordering you.
She's ordering. I'm begging. I'm trying to be nice about it, but frankly, be proud of liking cool stuff. Be proud of being creative, liking to be creative, and then sharing your creativity with the world. Whether it be cosplaying, whether it be Renaissance Fair. There are the differences, but either way, man, it is our geekdom. I love Renaissance Fair. I love fantasy. I love knights. I love dragons. I love Smaug. I love these different things. That is what makes me. That is my geekdom. That is my geekdom. Hers, she loves cosplay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with us loving different things. That is being passionate about something. That's human nature. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's my 2 cents with that, at least. But.
Man, that is really good coffee. Nobody brews it. Nobody brews like Boss Man. WRPBITV.com.
Yeah.
My views do not express the views of WRPBITV.com or the ever elusive Boss Man, just saying.
Not Boss Man, never Boss Man. Boss Man is all.
Never Boss Man.
As we were saying. Now, the Renaissance Fair, yes, it's going down in Quiet Waters. Yes, it's going down in Deerfield. Yes, it is going down in all of February. Okay?
Wicca.
Wicca remix. Okay. But if you are going to go to the Renaissance Fair, as I said earlier on this show, please bring $200 minimum. Not only will you want all of the food there, you're going to want all the clothing there. You're going to want all the weapons there. You're going to want all of the alcohol there. Throwing it in there.
Parents, we do not share these views with WRPBITV.com. His barbaric views are not affiliated with WRPBITV.com.
My bad. I'm just throwing it out there. The Renaissance, we're pretty old, and I'm just letting you know. But as you were saying,
right, for anime conventions, honestly, the website's gonna be on our Facebook page because right now it has The websites to both these events are going to be on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to find a local anime convention, just like I said, use Google. There's like a main website that has all the anime conventions, I think in the country or the world.
It's either countries or world, but I think there's a better one that really is just country, because that's the one you really want to go to. Not only is it just easier to stay within the US if you are going for conventions, but it's definitely way, way, way less expensive to just stay in the US and go to all the conventions here. Not only that, we have a crap load of conventions. I'm pretty
Florida
sure.
especially.
Oh yeah,
has a ton
God.
of
Florida
conventions.
especially.
Specifically South Florida, we've got, what's coming up? There's MegaCon, there's Hurricon, there's Hatsume Fair, there's SuperCon.
Absolutely. You have the small cons.
I know I'm forgetting. There's Shock Pop Con.
Shock Pop Cons now. That's the thing.
UltraCon.
UltraCon. There's so
Anime
many
Miami.
conventions.
I think we've got more conventions than other places in the country.
Have to.
So if you're one of our lucky South Florida viewers, maybe you'll even see us at one of the cons covering them. If you'd like to see us do that, please let us know on our Facebook page. Also, the links to these events, Hang 10 Dudes, will be on our. We'll make a Facebook post about it. You guys can just click right there, get yourself settled, and look for what you enjoy.
Absolutely.
Local comic book shops. You can also Google comic book shop, Coral Springs, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. What's the store called in Coral Springs? GXE.
Yes, GXE. I went there actually last month.
I found that through Google, and then I figured there were friends who went there. They go to play Magic and all sorts, and Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's a pretty solid comic book shop. Can't lie. But also remember, there's the classic huge ones. There's Sunshine Gaming down in Miami.
Heroes and Villains is a new one.
Heroes and Villains. There's Rock Game Shop. That's in Miami too. But then there's Tate's. That's a big name. That's in Fort Lauderdale. We have.
These are just some of our local.
So many. There's so many.
Some of our local comic book shops. But you got to find some in your area too.
Absolutely.
So don't forget to use that Google. Maybe if you have a friend that's also into geeky things, just ask them. They should know.
Yeah.
I don't go to Magic events, but I know all the comic book shops.
Oh yeah. Almost every single comic book shop is gonna have some form of Magic event there. Magic being like the original awesome card game. Yeah, that's
very
gonna
great
happen.
card game. Anyway, so don't be afraid to look up where you want to go.
If you want to go somewhere, look it up, guys.
Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to look up what you want to look up and find your niche and find your little geek tavern and become that beautiful dragon that just flies everywhere and is just like, I'm going to do geeky things here and geeky things there. And now my name is Smaug and this has been Nerdverse. Thank you for watching.
Yes, Smaug. I'm also Edward, and she is more.
I'm Maor, this is Edward. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching that awkward segment.
Join us next time on Nerdverse.